Hello and welcome to the College Rugby Show live here from Women's Nationals at Houston SaberCats Stadium. I'm Pat Clifton, joined as always by Zach Lanning, Darian Lovelace. We got one semifinal down. We got 3 more to go. We're going to crown a national champion later today. Guys, already been a great day of rugby, yeah?
Oh my God, yeah. I don't know how we fit all this in 24 hours. It's crazy. It's unbelievable to me.
So much good.
Yeah.
Only one Monster Energy drink in me so far, all right? So maybe I'll need to tune that up as we get this day going. But we've got a Division II semifinal, the first one of the day here. Vassar and Coast Guard, a rematch from last year. Let's start with Vassar. The Brewers, Zach, tell us who to look at here.
Yeah, so, I mean, Vassar historically great, and you know, like, it's been a long time for head coach Tony Brown. 29-30 winning seasons there for the Brewers. They, you know, just playing really good ball. They're untouchable for a long time here. So tough for them. I think so far it's been handling issues in practice. Darren, you said you noticed earlier that they kind of had a tough go there with the conditions here, maybe in Houston, or there may be a little jitters here for national championship. But who knows? They're looking pretty good there.
How about you, Darian? The other side of the ball there, we got Coast Guard, right? Vassar, these two teams, fun fact, are both already undefeated on the weekend. Zach losing an art challenge to Vassar yesterday during check-ins, and I lost a cartwheel challenge to Coast Guard. So I know they can cartwheel, but can they play rugby, Darian?
Coast Guard definitely can play. I mean, last year they were the closest to beating Vassar, which was not an easy feat, right? Vassar was absolutely untouchable all season, and somehow Coast Guard was able to come through with that. But the reason why, I mean, a lot of that has to do with players like Kate Boggs and Savannah McBrayer. We're going to talk about them a lot, and it's because they came back from injury. They got injured in that Sevens national championship, and Coast Guard, resilient as ever, still found a way to pull it off. And so to me, like, Coast Guard is going to be that resilient side. Vassar, this is not going to be an easy game, and they're really going to have to step it up to stick it to the Coast Guard.
Well, let's look at the Brewers and their path and how they got here, how they got to Houston. Obviously defending national champs, but they had to win a lot of games to get back.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't really been tested. They kind of breezed through the Tri-State there. I mean, they played some pretty good teams, although, in Fairfield and Marist, 2 teams that also made it into the regional round as kind of wild card seeds that are pretty solid teams. But Vassar handled them greatly, 12-0, undefeated on the year. Again, you know, unblemished there, scoring a lot of points, a lot of try scorers. We'll talk about some of those names later. And they just, they untouchable. A lot of good wins in a row.
A lot of returning firepower there still for the Brewers. How about let's talk about the other side of the ball again, Coast Guard here, Darian. Who are some of the I apologize. Let's go back to Vassar. Some of those players to watch are 2 of the most high-powered players in all college rugby. Jude Robinson, Sophia Bailey. We saw him here last year.
Got to keep an eye on Sophia Bailey, scrum half for Vassar, all-time leading scorer for the Brewers. Broke that record this year. All she does is score points. She's fantastic. Jude Robinson, also a great scorer, a threat in the back line there. The 2 of them together, they put up a lot of points.
One player you're missing as we look at these Vassar lineups here is Jasmine Kassem-Scott. You're going to notice she was the number 8 last year. She is out injured. Sarah Town in for her at number 8. So some great backs there for Vassar. Let's take a look or forwards there for Vassar. Let's take a look at the backs here.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably going to key in, on Bailey as Coast Guard, and then also Ruth Robinson as well. So we're going to look for Maddie Sumrau in the inside center spot to kind of they're adding a lot of positional flexibility. Played in the back 3 last year, moved to inside center this season. They've been a consistent force in the middle of that back line.
All right, now let's take a dive here into Coast Guard and how they got here, Darian.
And they love to take a dive, do Coast Guard, right? I mean, their way up through their national championship was no easy feat. I mean, getting them to the position that they're in, Coast Guard really has continuously showed out, and it just shows on the point differential. 302 points, right? Because only 77 points scored against them, so their defense is just stellar, and I think that's the bread and butter that Coast Guard really have. They play a dominant game. They really like to launch up, and you take a look at just these games as they led up to it. Very, very hard competition throughout, and they always ended up on top. They played against Fairfield and Marist, and from there they've really just been able to kind of take it this whole season and just dominate at every single contest that they do.
Here we go. We got a live flyover here as Coast Guard. The Bears. You got a helicopter over the field at Houston SaberCats Stadium. Gotta love it.
Oh,
Only
wow.
here in college rugby, baby, do you get the Coast Guard flyover. That's fantastic.
Is flying that, I think, and they're gonna
All right, we got a couple players to watch here. Caitlin Boggs is going to be there at number 8 as we look at the Coast Guard forwards. Talk us through this here, Darian.
I love a good back row there, but keep an eye on the front row. That's really going to dominate at scrum time. Royal does a fantastic job along with Rowan. The helicopter agrees with everything that I'm saying as well. But this back line is really what's going to have to be important here. King, look at her to lead from the front there against a really strong Vassar side, and Mendez as well, and Warnke and Soka. I mean, they really know how to attack back.
All right, quickly here, let's pick this game. Zach, who you got?
Hard to not take Vassar. They're very dominant. This is a senior season for Sophia Bailey. They're playing really well. Firing all cylinders. Coast Guard will be close, but I take Vassar in this one.
I'm going to go Vassar. I'm going to have to agree with Zach. Not usual, but I do.
Look, I thought I walked into that cartwheel challenge boastful yesterday. I thought I was going to beat Coast Guard. I was wrong, all right? I'm not picking against the Bears again. My pick is for Coast Guard to take this one. Yeah, I said it right. Three-peats are hard. Repeats are hard. Sophia Bailey, she's fantastic. I like the Coast Guard to shore up that defense around the breakdown. I got the Bears. Let's throw it now to Tim Wilkes, Lance Kavanaugh in the booth, and watch this rugby game.
Thank you so much, Pat. We are ready to rock and roll here in Houston, Texas, up in the booth. Coast Guard taking on Vassar next in our first of two D2 semifinal matchups. I'm Tim Wilkes alongside Lance Kavanaugh from Great American Rugby. Check him out on any social media platform. Lance, we've got a fantastic matchup between these two squads that are extremely familiar with each other.
What a moment for both sides. A chance to continue the legacy and the dynasty that Vassar has, but Coast Guard, a chance at redemption. So many opportunities in this moment, so many times spoiled by Vassar. Can Coast Guard get over the hump and find himself in a national championship game? This is going to be one of those.
Jeff Tancredi, our referee for this match. We welcome you all in wherever you are watching here live to SaberCat Stadium. As you mentioned, Vassar College, the defending national champs, 4-time national champs. 8 of the last 9 years these two have played each other, 8 victories for Vassar College. They've won 4 in a row and have dominated Coast Guard. Average score 50-28 in the last 4 meetings between these two. But for Coast Guard, their 25th anniversary as a rugby program, they would love to put the exclamation point on this season. For Coast Guard Academy, they're in possession here first in the white jerseys with the orange and blue trim. They'll swing this one out through the hands of Woolham. Out in the back with Boggs. Boggs, the team captain, forwards captain, and All-American is Caitlin Boggs. As this time it's Vassar College that are able to put some pressure and through the counter ruck, get possession back. Sophia Bailey, the speedster, taps this one, looks for pay dirt all the way in. Sophia Bailey, her first touch is a Vassar try.
Is it deja vu for Sophia Bailey? Every time you look up, she's in the try zone. Great defensive line speed by Vassar. Amazing counter ruck, forcing a penalty. And once you give a speedster with confidence that space, they will take advantage. Sophia Bailey getting on the board early for this Vassar side.
Sophia Bailey, the senior, just 4'11", but Lance, she probably has the best vision, field vision that we've seen in the country. Had that quick tap and had the vision to be able to see that opening on the outside.
I mean, pound for pound, inch for inch, she's the most dangerous player in Division II college. She's showing it now. Could be one of the more dangerous players across all divisions nationally. Just a continuation of her dominance.
Kick off the mark, no good. So our score 5-0 with Vassar College on top thanks to Sophia Bailey, her 31st try of the season.
And the step off that left and the fin to keep the bigger defender away. And look at the energy with the try. She know what that means. Vassar early on the board, but as said before, this Coast Guard side is resilient. They represent something higher than just this rugby game, and it's going to come into effect as this game continues.
So one possession, one phase, one try for Vassar College. And as we talked about before, the big thing for the Coast Guard is they've got to limit the total number of points here for Vassar. Again, averaging 50 points the last 4 times these teams have played. If they can keep them in the 20s, Lance, they've got a much better shot at this one. Another restart here. Coast Guard bobbles it a bit, but bring it out in front of the 22-meter line as they start their second possession of the match. They'll do so with some pick and goes. It's Vassar College, coached by Tony Brown, 30 years with the program. 19-time conference winners. Truly one of the best programs in the country. This one squirts out the side. Coast Guard almost got on top of it and finally do get possession. Put some hands in the ruck there, playing the ball on the ground. Penalty back to Vassar.
And we just seen a bit of what Coast Guard is going to have to deal with in this match. So much confrontational pick and goes by Vassar. They're going to bring the action near and around the rucks, and when the space opens up, they have players in width to attack. Keep your eye out for the fullback, who last year created so much misery for every opposition, June Robinson. Let's see what she has going this game. She might get started early, just as Bailey did.
In their playoff run, their last 2 matches, Robinson's put up 7 tries in 2 matches. Looking to get back on the board here. First line out of the match. Again, thank you for joining us here on NCR TV. The tap comes right to the hands there. Tate Wagner scoops this one up for Vassar College and gets another possession going here for the Brewers.
You're fine, White. Yes, you're fine.
Over the game line they come, back to the pick and goes. This is the patented scheme here for Vassar College. They will continue to pound forward against those posts and find a little bit of an opening there for another 10 meters. And it's going to be so important for Coast Guard to get low and defend that post time and time again.
Got to find a way to keep that A channel solidified, and Vassar is going to keep threatening it. Pick and goes, pick and goes.
Maisie Richardson, 14 tries on the year, one of the more potent forwards from this Brewers pack. Pick and go here for Sarah Town. Yasmin Cassine Scott, their normal number 8, out due to injury this week. And this time it's Coast Guard, the Bears, win the penalty there, not rolling away the call for Vassar College. So eventually those pick and goes cause their own demise here in our first real group of phases now for the Coast Guard. Bears from their own end. This pass a little bit low. Willem could not connect there with Mitrick. Out the back, Fontana, the hooker, getting involved, and the scrum half position. But you see this tremendous defense here from Vassar. Right up against it.
Backwards, play on.
Through the hands, play on, says our referee. In their push here, Coast Guard able to take home the championship there for the North Atlantic Conference. Third time they've been able to do that as they've moved around conferences a bit. And here's some space on the outside. Caitlin Boggs. Boggs one-on-one at midfield. Takes the stiff arm, but a tremendous tackle there from Robinson. They're able to keep things moving now up over the 10-meter line. What a run there from Caitlin Boggs. Again, the senior team captain for this squad.
Tackle.
Take a second look there. Great job retaining possession sometimes in those breakaways. Get a little bit too separated. Another good run here from Rouen. Keeps things moving for the Bears. Again, they had a 44-31 victory over Marist and a 33-24 victory over Fairfield, the number 4 team in the country. But this counter rock, look at that. They're able to pull it through there. Scrum half gets melted inside of the ruck. And Vassar keeps pushing, but eventually not rolling away out of it. To their own demise, a penalty here for the Coast Guard.
No, not through the mark, but I want to talk to their captain. There.
After those group of phases lands, referee just wants to have a quick chat with Vassar captain Sophia Bailey.
We've had 2 not rolling penalties. Okay. Someone might have to sit down if we can't get that cleaned up now.
Okay.
Stop contesting.
Okay.
Until that tackler's gotten out of there legally.
Got it.
They can't lay there. They cannot roll south. Talk to them.
Okay.
Mark's back over here.
And referee having a quick
Are you
conversation.
ready?
This second not rolling away is just so unfortunate. A great opportunity to steal the ball. Just got tangled up and stuck in the bottom of that ruck. And now they're on the warning side of this referee. Not a good omen for the beginning of this match.
So they start there with the quick taps, but quickly lose a couple of meters there. Great defense coming up and hitting them behind the game line there off the quick tap. Coast Guard taking it just a little bit too flat-footed, but they've got some space there on the left-hand side. Boggs takes it into contact instead, though. Haven't really seen them use the width just yet. No, they've got that up their sleeve. Yasmin Mendez, number 13, one of their leading try scorers. Woolham scoops this one out the back, looks for some space on the left, but that hard charging Maroon defense comes right up and hits them behind the gain line yet again. This is where they've had the most success. Boggs running straight at the defense. Running these little pod phases here with their forward pack. And again, start to push forward. Hoping that they've maybe created some space on the outside. Through the hands they come and around the corner. Just couldn't get loose that last pass there from Kraus Rivera. Lost it forward a bit there. And the knock on will send this one back to Vassar College.
Defensively, Vassar is bringing line speed, and we just seen Coast Guard find a way to get around the corner. If only the hands could get free at that particular moment, Gabriella might have been able to find space and get them around the corner and really put pressure on those outside defensive backs for Vassar. But Vassar, bend but don't break, found a way to contain it, and now they're back on attack.
Bind. Set.
So the long defensive stand there for Vassar College. Get some back in possession. Scoop off the back there from Town. And she finds some space over the midfield stripe. Bailey right there in support. And the pick and go gives time here for the Brewers to get back in position for more pick and goes. You see the maroon jerseys just lining up, taking turns, pounding away at this Bears defense. Making meters every time too. But finally the penalty given there off their feet. Second time we've seen off those pick and goes, the penalty there from the Brewers. Shooting themselves in the foot. During times they've had decent scoring opportunities. Coast Guard continues to pound forward with their pack. You mentioned it, Lance. They did a great job. They just needed that one final pass there off the wing. They've shown just how dangerous they might be able to be once they are able to use their hands to get around this hard charging defense. 10 minutes into this match, Vassar College on top with the one try. Huge collision, 10 meters behind the gain line. Great hit there off the back there for Vassar College. And right now, Lance, it just seems like the Bears just trying to find a way to punch through this line without much anticipation right now.
Yeah, straight into the attack of Vassar. The defensive line speed of Vassar is really shutting them down, especially when they move towards the outer edges. That overlap of defensive play is giving them meters back. But Coast Guard able to bring the defense of Vassar in on multiple occasions. 2 line break early in this match. It seems like Coast Guard have a plan, and they're going to stick to it until it appropriately gives them what they're looking for, which is points on the board.
They try again, hands at the outside. There's that final pass that they needed. Able to come around the corner, at least break the gain line there through Waranki. Pick and go through Madison Murphy, the senior. Naval Architect major. Tries to go through the defense, but again, another big-time double tackle there from the defense. That was Town, the number 8, getting her name involved yet again. Pick and go here for Boggs, trying to carry this team. She's done such a great job throughout the year. Again, last year, these two teams faced off as a 39-27 victory for Vassar College. They prevailed in the end. There's some space on the far side of the pitch. Great break here for the Bears. Into contact goes Marley King. Gets that one jarred loose. Terrific tackle on the back end by Vassar. Second breakaway, second big-time tackle by the fullback. Into contact again, Molly Garrett. Slows things up. Second time we've seen the Coast Guard here in Brewer territory. Good job pounding through that one. That was the fly half, Hazel Mitrick, the junior. Her first year as fly half for this squad, moved over and has been a delight for their coach, Sarah Price. Credits her for playing a huge part in their victories in the semis and quarterfinals in their last couple matches. Off to the left-hand side, Mitrick gets it to Doyle.
14.
Big time collision, a little too high for Vassar College, and they'll get sent back 10. You see the strategy here, another quick tap. Into contact goes Maribella Rowan again. Just going to take those meters every chance they get sent back. They are more than happy to progress their way down the pitch slowly. And we've got a penalty here coming, possible intentional knock there, Lance.
It's just so much happening between.
Okay.
For an intentional knock-on,
Oh, okay.
we're now at a frequency warning,
Okay.
not just about the rolling aways, but for the high tackle,
Okay.
for the intentional knock, and then rolling aways. Frequency offenses,
Okay.
while under pressure. Talk to them. They're on warning.
So much going on in this play. Defender had one hand on the ball, maybe an opportunity to take, but that Coast Guard hand getting in there, that's 2 knocks. They go with the first. The first is
knock.
referee is on top of it 100%. And now,
Intentional knock. Captain, are you ready?
he's done with warnings. The next infringement between not rolling away, high tackle, intentional knock could lead to some cheese. As Coast Guard gets a break.
Rowan gets it to Mallison there. Great work here from the Bears. The closest they've come to that Brewer try line so far. And as you mentioned, Lance, that pounding away, just the constant pressure that the Bears are putting on them, starting to find a little bit of cracks in the defense through penalties. Now to the right-hand side through Mitrick. Tries to bring this one around. Mendez couldn't handle it.
Have a scrum red.
They'll play the knock on. So the turnover ball back to Vassar as the Coast Guard, again, still down by 5.
Yep.
The control of this match has tipped to Coast Guard's way. They've had more possession. They've committed less mistakes as far as penalties. They got to find a way to get those knock-ons under control. There's been a couple when they have great offensive opportunities.
Coach.
But Coast Guard is here for a game. They're bringing the physicality, and they're being very confrontational around the rucks, employing a Vassar-type strategy, and it's working out good for them.
Stay 9, no closer.
Sophia Bailey again gets it in. Sarah Town made a good 10, 15 meters on her last take. This time, just a modest few, but gets Vassar College ready to get back into their formation yet again.
Never through the gate.
Maddie McKinney surges forward. See Coast Guard's strategy here, maybe trying to get them a little bit stranded off of these, looking for the poach each and every time, bringing them to them. Almost got their hands to it, and the referee approves. Not releasing the call against Vassar, and the Brewers back on the offensive end. Rowan again takes it into contact, 25 meters out for the Coast Guard. They'll keep it in tight. Good low charging run, upended there in the tackle. Coast Guard retained possession. Good work there from Woolham, the sophomore. Her first year playing as a scrum half, trained all season, and Coach Sarah Price very happy with how she has improved and become a very reliable source there from her scrum half position. Coast Guard continued to keep this one tight. Now they'll spin it through Mitrick. Off to the outside, just a little too tight there though, Lance, as again they get hit a good 10 meters behind the gain line.
Just too much line speed defensively with Vassar. They found a way to shut them down before they can get to the edge. And it's finding success, but not getting turnover ball the way Coast Guard has so far in this game has been Vassar's undoing defensively.
Again, we said just a few phases ago, knocking on the door of the 22-meter line, but now all the way back. There's a break, though. It's Boggs again. Multiple this half. Has been tremendous. Probably made more meters than anybody else so far in this match. Great little offload again. Keeps things moving for the Bears. Inside the 22-meter line. Coast Guard in their 25th season looking for their first national championship, but have the biggest of foes that they have to take down here. Again, Coast Guard have lost 8 of the last 9 against this Vassar College squad in the last 10 years. Their only win back in 2019. They were able to get it done in the quarterfinals. The last 4 years, it's been all Vassar. Closest Coast Guard has come here, out to the left-hand side. Yasmin Mendez, one of the leading try scorers, cannot crack through. Back again through Woolham. They'll keep it in tight. Garrett. Double tackle again from Vassar College, and they are right back into position. Great work on that defensive line. Another surge. Alexandra Madison held up and the ball is called. Now it's up to Coast Guard to be able to present this back to their squad. Stalled up once, now going back. It's tied up, not presented. Scrum to Vassar College after the turnover.
Bend but don't break, says Vassar College. And again, Coast Guard has figured out ways to gain line advantage, confrontational near the ruck, finding ways to go out to the backs, and that defensive line speed, which has been a plus for Vassar in this early part, was their undoing. Too many players overlapping, leaving a space for this Coast Guard team running with confidence, Boggs breaking tackles, finding her way up and through, and so close to the try line with Coast Guard.
Let's get flat. Thank you. A lot better picture.
Definitely need to highlight Caitlin Boggs, a 5'4" senior All-American out of St. Augustine, Florida. The number 8 there for Coast Guard. She has been tremendous. Probably at least 6 or 7 line breaks so far in this match. Off the right-hand side again comes Town. This time she's wrangled right at the gain line. Vassar just looking to retain possession here. A pick and go on the weak side. Into contact yet again. That's McKinney. Coast Guard have had to face this pick and go strategy here from Vassar College. Again, 8 out of the last 9 years they have fallen to Vassar College. The pick and go strategy. Finally, they're able to crack the code. They get the ball back here. Just outside the 22-meter line. Got to restart the engines here after an errant pass, but they have more support here on the outside. Here comes Soka. Gets taken down. You see just how potent this Bears team can be with this pressure time and time again here. Knocking on the door. 18 minutes gone by here in the first half. Space on the outside there for Woolham. Just gets tossed to the deck. Hooker steps up. Takes this one. Now to Royal. Through the teeth of the defense, steps aside one. Finally brought down.
Use it.
Off to the left here, trying to get around this line speed. Can't do so again. Contact is made, Yasmin Mendez, and she just has not had enough space to really break any tackles or have any real impact in this game so far. Off to the left-hand side, here comes Rowan. She has been tremendous in this match.
Use it.
They continue to just pound away phase after phase here. This Vassar College squad really good on defense, but right now, Coast Guard more than happy to keep them pinned in here and keep pounding away as they try to find an edge here and knot this one back up at 5. Rowan again. This time gets it off, but the defense is more than ready to get back out there again, fringing out here to the near side. Forces the offense back inside again through Murphy. Now stepping up, Kraus Rivera. Over to the right-hand side again. Stifled.
Tackle.
And just Waranki has to just take this one down. Again, inside the 22-meter line. We are halfway through this first half of action. Another strong run. That's Victoria Royal. Spins this one now to the left. They've got numbers out there, but they just can't get it through the hands quick enough. Caitlin Boggs does her best to fight off. Finally gets it out there to Mendez. Mendez is able to break that game line and power forward a little bit more. Boggs again. Will take it into contact. Sits down one. Finally brought down by the second. And they look to go weak. Try to pound away at the far side of the pitch. They're through Rowan. Back into the hands of Mitrick. The fly half getting involved there on the outside. And now they'll bring it back into the forwards again. Royal. 8 meters out. Stifled again. Rowan takes a charge at it. But still nothing going. Second time we've seen them here in the last 10 minutes or so. Last one was stolen away at the end after a held up maul. Almost lost this one, but back, says the referee, and we continue to play on. Step through here for Mitrick. Gets past one. 2 more defenders on the deck in her wake. Finally just needs to take this one down. Roll away, 5 meters out. To the outside, Kraus Rivera squirts through one, powers through another, gets them 2 meters away. Coast Guard looking to get this monkey off their back. 4 straight losses to Vassar College. Line speed there, gets out, but possibly illegally so. Let's see what the referee saw there.
14 in you. 14.
14 been creeping. Referee had spoke to her
Possible
earlier.
card here, Lance.
She
Yeah,
was
it's looking like
offsides
some
blatantly
cheese.
at that last ruck. Then we added upright tackle. Repeat infringements inside the defensive 5. It's going to be a yellow card.
Yes, sir.
And the last thing you want as a defense, especially for Vassar, who's found himself without much ball in hand, is a yellow card.
So
can have the
multiple
offsides
infringements in that group of phases.
Or the high tackle back there where she had you high.
Either a
Where do you
high
want it?
tackle or the
Offsides over here?
offsides option here.
Or further back. Yep, let's have the offsides penalty
We'll
here.
take the offsides, which is a
Offsides?
little bit closer to the line. But Lance, we've seen that just continued power time and time again here from Coast Guard. Just been relentless, and it finally pays off for him. And now Boggs, of course, just takes this one in over the line, but cannot get it down. Boggs is denied, and Vassar secure possession back here now with the goal line drop.
Opportunity might not have went the way that Coast Guard wanted it, but if we're looking at everything from a bird's eye view, you have an advantage, a player advantage. You have the momentum. You're getting the ball back. You're running this Vassar defense ragged without an opportunity for hand and ball. Who knows how Vassar will act when they finally get their opportunity to have hands on the ball. This is a great moment for Coast Guard. They can find points.
Scooped up here by Marley King. And again, it was Caitlin Boggs, the team captain, just tried to do that one all on her own there with the quick tap. Just had that one held up. Got to make sure she puts pressure on it in the try zone. Vassar denies the 5 points, but they are still knocking on the door. Madison Murphy takes them about 9 meters out. An advantage here for not rolling away, messing with the scrum half back behind. Maybe offsides there. 5 meters out now.
Yep, I'm going to get out of your way every time.
Royal
We're all good.
leaves this one off. They'll look to spin it to the outside through the hands of Mitrick. Lost this one, but it finally gets scooped up by Mendez. Jasmine Mendez, final offload, hits the target. Avery Soka dots it down. Try Coast Guard.
Look at the energy. Look at the enthusiasm. They got their 5 points from hard work and playing clean rugby. The team that made the most mistakes in the last 15 minutes has been Vassar. And that yellow card advantage, this is where that player is supposed to be. This is the edge that winger protected. And Coast Guard find a way with the offload on the way down. Amazing bit of play, offensively and defensively. Ball goes to deck, able to control it, fight off a defender, and this offload on the way down. No look is what you asked for in championship moments. And Coast Guard able to find a way to score points after seemingly 15 minutes of aggressive forward-facing rugby. Finally able to tie this game up.
Kick no good, but as you mentioned, we are knotted up at 5 apiece. Great work there off the try. Avery Soka, the junior out of Cromwell, Connecticut, dots it down. And Lance, take us through it one more time.
Still on warning. They scored a try.
Yeah.
Card warning for yellows for not rolling.
And what a fend to get in. The work by Mendez, able to keep defenders away and give and just provide the yellow brick road right to a try for your winger. That is what you asked for a winger, to get a great opportunity to score and wingers finish. But we have to be mindful of the defensive strategy of Coast Guard,
I'm playing that.
which we'll get to in a bit when Coast Guard's back on defense.
Yeah, we just haven't seen a ton of possession here from Vassar. Coast Guard's did a tremendous job of keeping and retaining possession. But for Vassar, they had just have made a few too many mistakes, too many penalties. And Marabella Ruan has been tremendous. The senior charges through and breaks that gain line yet again. Keep it in tight off to the right-hand side. Victoria Royale, the government major, takes it through. Now over the midfield stripe they come through Kraus Rivera, the fullback. Another line-breaking run for her, and really starting to get into the groove here. They've made 20 meters in the last 4 phases. They continue to push through with Royal again. Dragging defenders with her. Now spaces open up on the outside, but they'll just cut this one back in. Woolham into contact. Through Garrett fishing it out of there. Gets it out to the fly half, Soka. Now into some space. Doyle with the offload, but just off the mitts there. Mendez knocks it on. No advantage gained, and it'll be a scrum to Vassar College. We'll take this second to throw it down. Tyler Doige gives us the ins and outs of the TMO booth. Tyler.
The sun has fully emerged here at SaberCat Stadium. It's shaping up to be a beautiful day, and it's no problem here for our TMO booth. That's right, our television match officials. You're probably going to hear that term quite a bit today during the broadcast. And Next Level Rugby, is along with National Collegiate Rugby, has made it possible for us to offer to the collegiate matches official review live and in-game. So you're probably going to see a few of those during the match, and it's all thanks to our TMO booth down here on the sideline. Back up to you guys.
Thank you, Tyler. Look forward to seeing a little bit more from the TMO booth later. Here's Vassar College now back in possession inside their own 22, but the first phase pushes them over the gain line. Bailey just has to scoop this one up and take it into contact. Slung down a bit, but never fully brought down. Hits the deck, leaves it on the ground, picks it back up, and now a good 20 meters later, the smallest women on the pitch just drive straight through the defense.
Thank you. Tackle never rolled.
Interesting here, Lance. You see this pick and go strategy. At some point for Coast Guard, you got to realize it's a defensive line stand, a goal line stand. Get low and try to get under some of these attacks, but Vassar College continue to bully their way through.
Conventional approach is 4-point stands next to the ruck, getting players automatically to the ground as fast as possible. Coast Guard has found success ripping shirts down and going for the steal after that separation for those Vassar support players. And again, they find a way to get the ball back, not by being aggressive and chopping ball carriers, by essentially being confrontational, hitting players and pulling them to the ground and immediately fighting for the ball. It has caused all kind of fits for Vassar. And you got to think, Vassar hasn't had much ball in hand. So at what point will they start being a little bit more loose with the ball because it's not being given to them? It's stingy ball by Coast Guard. You might see Vassar playing a little bit more expansive and wider just to make the opportunity work because they don't get that many or haven't gotten that many.
I mean, we're 30 minutes into this match, and one of your favorites, Jude Robinson, with 27 tries on the year, hasn't barely even touched the ball so far in this match. But now Vassar will look to keep things moving. A huge surge in the scrum, and they're able to get possession out the back through Bailey. Ruck comes through, secures it again. The pick and go from Sarah Town. On that last one, just got to give a shout out. Madison Murphy came in, the lock, got low, and jarred that ball loose with a big time tackle. So they're getting it done on the defensive end now in multiple ways. There's a surge through. Garrett just has to wrangle her down to the deck. And Vassar College looking to respond here. Had the first 5. It was all Coast Guard the last 20, 30 minutes almost. But now Vassar back into their phases. Maisie Richardson with 14 tries on the year. Loose head prop takes it in as well. Now they'll spin it to the backs. Into contact. I think that was Robinson. But a penalty is going to be given, not releasing the call in the Coast Guard. Another turnover.
It seems like Vassar is just not there resourcing the ruck in a timely manner. Coast Guard has found a way to separate the ball carrier from the support, pull the ball carrier down, and get after the steal. That's the 5th one I've counted. and unable to capitalize on it. Coast Guard with the knock on there, but defensively, Coast Guard has a lot to be proud of. Only points given away were off a penalty quick tap in their own end. So if their defensive line can be established, communicate, and operate, they've done pretty well.
For sure, and again, we sit with 9 minutes left to play here in the first half. Vassar College have marched their way back down the pitch, looking to take the lead with a one-player disadvantage for the last 7 or 8 minutes or so. Looking for a short-handed try. Again, Coast Guard looking for their first national championship. For Vassar College, looking for number 5 and the repeat from last year. But again, this Coast Guard squad won the 2025 Sevens National Championship. They can fling it all around the pitch, and we have a great contest here in our first D2 semifinal matchup. Vassar College again with it on the outside. Excuse me, keep it tight in the inside here. In the engine room, another pick and go. Bardsley Cutler surges forward. Good defensive stand that time. Repelled behind the gain line. They continue to work. Time and time again here with the pick and goes. 8 minutes left in the first half of action. If you're Vassar College, not a terrible way. Here to let those seconds tick off the clock to where you're back to full strength here in the next stoppage or so. Bailey now going to spin it to the outside through the hands of Wheel. Gets it into Sumrow. Back over the 22-meter line again and right back to the pick and goes again. Coast Guard almost got their hands on it, but support arrives just in time. Good job holding it up a bit. As we slow things back down again here for Vassar College. As you mentioned, Lance, they continue to pull them down and go for the poach. And this time they're able to get their hands on it and secure the penalty yet again.
And they're doing a mix. In this situation we've seen, they did a mix. A lot of players getting low on those pick and goes defensively, bringing the ball carrier to the ground. After a few phases, the pull down is available, and there's a steal right there for Coast Guard.
The sun is out here in Houston, Texas, just south of downtown at SaberCat Stadium. Backwards says the referee. Last few minutes here, Coast Guard struggling to get out of their own end. We haven't seen any kicks or anything so far. This one did get knocked on there by the fullback, Kraus Rivera. Vassar College looking for a little momentum here. The next stoppage should see them go back to full strength. Another pick here from the outside, Sarah Town. 10 meters out for Vassar College. Again, just inching their way through, getting nice and low, progressing their way down the pitch. There's a nice defensive tackle. Surges them back behind the gain line. Another push here from Julia Wolf. She gets denied as well. 6 meters out for Vassar College. Continue to push, knocked it on. Turnover back to Coast Guard, another defensive stand.
Coast Guard are protecting the tri-zone as they protect the nation. There is no infiltration, says Coast Guard. Defensively, getting low on these hits, pulling players to the ground and able to attack and poach opportunities. We've seen Vassar being a little quicker to the rucks now, and when they see a bit of separation, immediately getting to it. But in this case here, just a big hit, shoulder on ball, and it drops right out. What an amazing squared up tackle by the Coast Guard lock. Madison Murphy putting the ball on the ground and getting the ball back for Coast Guard with a surge in Vassar College.
She's one of the tallest players on the pitch there at 5'8", but her form on those tackles, just putting her head and shoulders right on the ball. Second time in the last few minutes, she's made a huge tackle for Coast Guard. They're able to get possession out of it off their own scrum, and they keep it in close here to Fontana. 5 minutes away. This would be a tremendous first half here for Coast Guard. If they can have this one remain at 5 apiece, would mean that they are able to complete a big-time defensive stand. We're about 10 minutes into phase after phase here, but now Coast Guard with the break over the 22-meter line. Tries to step the final defender, couldn't do so. Out to the fullback here, Kraus Rivera. Tackle there from Jude Robinson, the Vassar fullback. About the third time we've seen her make that timely final tackle. Another run from Jasmine Mendez. Looked like she was hit a little bit high. Back 10 again, go Vassar.
Warning now for frequency.
Warning for frequency. After getting a yellow card back on the field, the warning has been laid by the referee.
Marabella Ruan, the civil engineer major, the senior, again charges the Bears into attacking territory. Fontana scoops this one up, gets it out to her fly half Mitrick. A little bit slow through there and allowed Maddie Sumrow inside center for Vassar College. Plenty of time to get back there and cause havoc. Great work there from Waranke off to the outside. Oh, but just knocked on there. Fontana couldn't hang on and knocks this one out into touch.
This game has been led by a few things. Coast Guard getting looser with the ball. That offload, one hand to get around the corner for Coast Guard. Right foot step, able to break a tackle there. Another offload, and Coast Guard is getting a little bit more comfortable in attack. Just a little bit more go forward, a little bit more pressing attack. They know that they can get line breaks if they run with some speed and urgency, but you got to pay attention to the penalty count. You got to pay attention to the unforced errors. Coast Guard is playing, outside of maybe that knock and a few others, has been playing precision rugby and is putting them in a great situation, even though the game is tied.
Vassar College scrum continues to be stout. No surge there from Coast Guard. Able to get to the outside. First time we see him go to the backs. Maddie Sumrow, number 12, brings it into contact. Sumrow with 14 tries on the year. One of the leaders of this Vassar College squad. Get repelled, but right back on the charge there again through town. Again, the starting number 8, Yasmin Kasim Scott, out for this match due to injury. And so Sarah Town stepping up there in her number 8 position, but she's been a tremendous player for them all season long.
Back up, thank you.
Another pick and go here through McKinney. Not getting much out of these, but they continue to drive and surge forward. 2 minutes left to go here in the first half of action. Coast Guard again almost get their hands on it. Now Bailey's going to sling it out to the outside. Little switch there from Wheel. Gets it into contact. Maniitis could not break the gain line though, and another pick and go back to the bread and butter.
A knock-on advantage.
Coast Guard knocked that one on. So advantage here being played. A couple of these phases might be enough here for advantage. Just with the scrum advantage here. And there it is. Met McKinney. Again with it, but she is a little too stranded in the Coast Guard. What is that now? 4 or 5 not releasing penalties against Vassar College. They have been tremendous on the defensive end. Finally finding a way to slow down this Vassar College team that had beat them 4 straight times over the last few years. Out to the outside they come. Through the hands of Mitrick. Lost in the back there. Gets it to Kraus Rivera, but she's just tackled immediately.
Knock there.
And then left it on the deck, but forwardly so. There says our referee. 1 minute left to go here, Lance.
It's half.
Oh, that'll
That's
do
half.
it. What a tremendous first half. Both of these squads taking their time, pushing their way down the field, and it's 5-5 here as we will step aside here for the second half of action. We've got plenty more with the College Rugby Show coming up next.
Listen to this crowd. Sensational. Get into it. There's a magic
Hello and welcome back to the College Rugby Show live from Houston SaberCat Stadium, Women's Nationals. We are in the D2 semifinals. Vassar, Coast Guard, tied 5-5 in a rematch of last year's semifinal. Doesn't get any closer than that, does it, Zach?
No, I think it's a really tight contest, and that's exactly the kind of game Coast Guard, I think, wants going into the half. They had that really tough mental lapse, I think, right up top, letting Bailey, who you know is going to run when she gets the ball, take it off the quick tap on the penalty for Vassar's first score, but they've responded really well after that, and I think they've really shut down Vassar, and they are looking really strong on defense, and they had that great score. The connection between Mendez and Soka out there on the wing, that nice offload while you're going to ground was awesome. We'll see that in a bit, I think, but they've responded really well, and this is where they want the game to be.
Yeah, it's been a really physical game so far, right? Here's some really hard running by Katie Boggs, who had a great breakaway try. One of our players to watch, so hopefully you did keep your eyes open on her. Darian, tell us a little bit about Vassar and how they've looked so far.
Vassar defensively has done a really good job of containing the Coast Guard, but Coast Guard right now really finding a way to break through the seams here and kind of stop it in the tracks. We saw a lot of line breaks there for the second half, but the tackles that have been coming in from Vassar have generated those mishandlings and haven't allowed Coast Guard to really build continuity here. The one thing we have to talk about, though, is that Vassar, all they're using right now is the pick and goes. That outside center, Montias, and then Robinson just sitting out there with hands on hips. Right now you're taking a look at them in open play, right? They're not options. And so Vassar is really going to have to learn how to do it because right now Sophia Bailey, because they're getting so contained around the ruck, she has no room to run.
I would say also Vassar some ill discipline in that half. The yellow card down a player there and a lot of penalties down in their half. You can't play that. You're trying to win a game. You're the favorite here. You got to play tight rugby.
Yeah, let's look at a couple of the scores here in the first half. There's only been two. Sophia Bailey, the one mistake Coast Guard really made, did not get back and turn around and get alert quick enough on a penalty deep in their own end. Bailey made them pay. Quick tap, dotted it down. And then Coast Guard playing a little bit more adventurous. We've seen them pass the ball much, much more than Vassar, even though they've had a lot less possession. They get it wide, even through a little bit of a bounce pass, offload, and they find space. So Vassar literally only attacking the 5 to 10 meters on either side of the breakdown. This is Tony Brown ball, right? We talked about it in the pregame. 30 years under him at Vassar. I think they've got the same playbook.
Yeah, it seems like it, and the Coast Guard is reading it. They read it before this game. They learned from last year. They know exactly what to key for. As you want to see those other players for Vassar step up then. Where's the summer? But they can't even get him the ball, right? They haven't moved it out there.
And the defense right now, I mean, we've seen alone about 6 or 7 not releasing penalties that the Coast Guard have gotten because they're just sitting there and waiting around the fringes of the ruck, right? And so right now, Vassar just doesn't seem to have another tool in the toolbox besides going to Sophia Bailey. I mean, all they're doing right now is just a 10-12 or a 10-13 crash. And Coast Guard are just sitting very patiently, waiting to just clap them back into the ruck and then go for the poaches, and they're doing it really well.
Well, I mean, look, they've had 12 months to sit here and figure out how the hell do we stop Sophia Bailey?
Yeah.
And it looks like they did their homework in just that.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that Vassar's not kind of sitting on any of their real stuff for maybe they expect to be in that final and they don't want to show anything. They don't want to put anything on tape potentially. You got to let everything out here. You got to win this game. I mean, it's still a great opponent in Coast Guard. I don't know if that's the case. I have no inside info on that, but you'd hope that they're not holding anything back for that final match.
I don't think they're holding anything back. I think that this is just the ball that they play, and they're really successful playing it. Coast Guard has done their homework. They know what they need to do, and it takes a lot of mental toughness to be able to execute that basic skill of defending the fringe over and over and over. Offense has an inherent advantage, right? So they're doing a great job so far, Coast Guard, staying patient, keeping their minds focused, because she just needs a little bit of a crease. All right, let's go to Division II Players of the Year. We are naming Divisional Players of the Year across the board. 3 of them are in this game. We've talked about Sophia Bailey. We talked about Jude Robinson and Kate Boggs. Also Elizabeth Crawford. You're going to see Layford for Binghamton. And you're going to see Olivia George, the hooker for Eau Claire. She's my favorite. We're going to watch her a little bit later. What do you think about some of these players?
A surprise for me in this one, I mean, but maybe just somebody not as well known. Elizabeth Crawford with Binghamton, like you said, can't wait to watch that game because she has been a force for them this year. I mean, really the catalyst for that offense, and that she's catapulted that team all the way here to nationals, kind of an underdog story. Really, really good at the fly half position, like very toolsy player.
Oh, I'm gonna get a T-shirt I think that says "I heart Kate Boggs." I love an 8-man that's just able to get the line breaks that she does. We've seen her carve it up around there when Coast Guard's needed her the most, and to me, that's what makes her one of those contenders for Player of the Year and one thing that differentiates her from a lot of the other 8-men in the competition.
Well, there's 3 players in the running in this game right now, and I got a feeling that whoever wins this second half is going to have a good chance of their player being the one that wins it all. So tied 5-5, Coast Guard, Vassar. We'll be right back with Tim and Lance in the second half. Hello and welcome back to the College Rugby Show. The fall season is upon us. We have a brand new division, now 4 men's divisions, 4 women's divisions. We've had that in 7s. We're going to be coming to you once every other week here in this video podcast form.
I'm excited for a season of telling college rugby's best stories.
We deserve to be here. We're going to keep, representing.
That was, to me, the biggest testament for the future of the game.
Welcome back to Houston, Texas, home of the NCR Women's Nationals 15 College Rugby Championships. We've got Coast Guard and Vassar College. These two foes played each other so many times, knotted up at 5 apiece. I'm Tim Wilkes, joined in the booth here by Great American Rugby's Lance Cavanaugh. And Lance, a tremendous first half. We said in the beginning that Coast Guard had to keep them down under in about that 20-point mark. They've been giving up 50 points the last 4 times they played. And boy, Vassar have only put up the 5. Great job from Coast Guard on the defensive end. But what have Vassar been unable to do in the first half on the offensive side?
Well, they haven't shown their identity offensively, expanding on it. They've done the pick and goes, and Coast Guard's done a great job defending. As you can see now, they found a way to get the ball back, says Coast Guard. So defensively, they figured out Vassar on how to stop that attack. Vassar has to play more expansive. They have to get those outside backs involved. Too many opportunities not really giving the ball and playing it in the space, and it's giving Coast Guard a great opportunity to steal the ball back and go on attack themselves.
Yeah, they've had great ball continuity as well. Probably the majority of the time of possession here in the first half, or from the first half. And now here, another charging run there from Caitlin Boggs. She's kind of been the star here for the Coast Guard as they, again, keep this one in tight. 25th year of rugby for Coast Guard, looking for their first national championship. It's been 5 years since they've been able to beat Vassar College back in 2019. But boy, they seem to have cracked the formula. 5 apiece. Now the fullback getting involved, Kraus Rivera, over the midfield stripe and brings 3-4 different defenders over the 10-meter line. Here comes Maribella Ruan, the Texas native out of Needville. Brings this one forward. We'll slow things down. Now try to find a little bit of space on the outside through Mitrick. But again, that line speed from Vassar College, just too much to handle. And again, they're pushed back behind the gain line. Woolham winds her way and weaves her way through. A little bit of space here on the outside. Nice little pass from Royal to Fontana. 1 and 2. Forwards getting involved on the outside, but still kind of stifled right in this section towards midfield, right around that 10-meter line. As Vassar College has continued to play tremendous defense. But Lance, it's just been too much defense as they've not been able to get their hands on the ball as much as they would like.
And as you said, time of possession, leaning one way or another, it is literally 85% Coast Guard. Coast Guard have controlled the ball, controlled the pace, the timing of this match, and just through defensive know-how, able to get the ball back so much and create opportunity for themselves. And even when it's an opportunity for them to lose the ball, there's a knock-on advantage for Coast Guard. They're still playing and don't know the ball has been stopped. Coast Guard eager to get ahead, go forward. And it's just showing 5-5 says the score. But if you didn't know what the score was and just looked at time of possession and how much possession Coast Guard have, you would think they were up by at least 15 points. Vassar defensively has stood strong. Outside of a yellow card moment, has kept Coast Guard off of the board. But it's just too much defense for Vassar. And as this game ticks along and you get towards the 65th, 70th minute, how does that mentally affect the offense who hasn't been able to find any kind of real advancement? Just losing the ball after 5 or 6 phases.
Let's be closer.
It'll be fun to see how this one plays out. Again, we still have one more D2 semifinal. Binghamton and Wisconsin Eau Claire coming up later today at about 4 p.m. Right after this one, we've got the second D3 semifinal, Siena and Colorado School of Mines. This one put in through Woolham. Out the back, here comes Boggs. flings it off to the right-hand side, hits the winger in stride. Warenke gets past the fullback. 5 meters out, sets this one down, but the high tackle, I believe, coming here, Lance. Back 10 again, go Vassar College.
High tackle, number 11, just the yellow card for frequency of offense.
For frequency.
Not escalation above to red, right? Just to verify?
No.
That's what I thought. Just want to verify I didn't miss anything. Wonderful. That's what I thought. Frequency, yep. Cool. Ball down, back 10. Captain?
Yes, sir.
11, yep. Frequency of offense?
Yes, sir.
Too many high tackles, yellow card.
Okay.
Let's take a look here, Lance, as they came around the side there with Warenke.
And I think the AR got it correct.
You had no other coverage over the top, Alana? Wonderful. That's what I have as well. We're all good. Just want to check in with you after. Going here.
Penalty try.
That was the final defender that was able to wrangle her down from the shoulders. No card, but a penalty try given for Coast Guard off that huge break from Boggs to Warenke.
And Boggs, again, leading from the front. The space is on the outside, able to close in defenders, and there's no one there.
Thank you.
The defense almost swarms on the outside, but just that grab around the shoulders by the winger, and it just, with no defense back and no cover, that yellow card high tackle turns into a penalty try high tackle, and I can't disagree with any part of the call. It wasn't malicious, but it was high. There was contact above the shoulder, and now Coast Guard has the lead for the first time in this match.
Have the lead and the player advantage now as Leah Dermashkin, the junior winger for Vassar College, steps off for the next 10 minutes. We saw in the first half, Lance, Coast Guard was able to score when they had that player advantage. Looking to do so yet again here in the second half. And now the pick and goes here from the Bears. Caitlin Boggs presses forward. Got this one a little bit flat-footed, and the hooker Fontana slings this one out the back. Losing meters here now for Coast Guard. Collision again behind the gain line. I think that was Sarah Town, the number 8, that was able to get in there. Makes another tackle, 2 in a row for Town. A machine there on the defensive end. But they need it. It's just this Coast Guard, Lance, just presses time and time again. Just so many opportunities for a little mistake, a little bit of tiredness hitting the legs here from Vassar as Coast Guard continues to pound away.
You're seeing hands on knees. You're seeing Vassar slowing down defensively on that outside edge. Are they going to be able to close up that space like they have done in the first half? Or will they start to slow down a little bit and those gaps and spaces open up for Coast Guard even more?
We're seeing Vassar go for a few more of the poaches and stuff here, try to get possession back. But space on the outside, big time collision. 15 meters behind the gain line. Coast Guard just a little too slow whenever they try to go out to the back line. The speed of this Vassar College defense has been tremendous. Another big time tackle from Town, but they're able to offload and keep things moving. Coast Guard in those white jerseys. 12 unanswered points here in this semifinal matchup. Now some space on the near side. Into contact they go. Ball ping-pongs around. Eventually scooped up by Vassar at midfield. So down to 14 players. 46 meters away for Vassar College. And they're taking Route 1 straight up the gut yet again. Pick and goes. This is where they tend to sometimes get stranded. Once they bust through a good 4 or 5 meters, they get slung to deck, and there again, hands on the ball, penalty awarded. First time in the second half, but boy, Lance, that's 6 or 7 so far.
Yeah, they find it the same way. Just one ball carrier stranded after a multitude of successful crash, successful pick and goes. Coast Guard find a way to separate ball carrier from support and get the ball back. I count 7 or 8. I might be underselling it.
Great work. Now on the outside again, the try scorer, Warenke, who had that penalty try, tries to get around the edge but gets wrangled down at the 22-meter line. White jerseys all around the ball. They secure possession. Couple of beautiful little moves there from Hazel Mitrick, the fly half. Inches closer. Now they'll keep it in tight through the fullback off to the outside. There's Warenke again dancing between players. Getting more space there. Into contact they come. Forward pack a little bit stranded there. Vassar unable to come away with the ball though. Scooped out the back by Woolham. Woolham moves around a couple. Sets things up. They'll try to spin it here to Boggs. Boggs, great little pass before contact. Need a couple more. Out to Mendez. Dives through and in. Coast Guard try. 17 unanswered points.
After so many meetings with this Vassar side, Coast Guard have found the formula for success early in this second half. They got a yellow card advantage. They got the penalty try, and they realize if we get the ball to the edges, to the space, let some of our dominant players left foot step there. Jude Robinson unable to make the tackle, subbing into the second half. And just like that, Coast Guard go from a tied game to a 12-point lead with a conversion to come. That's very convertible. That left foot step and the energy given after that try. Let's go, she says. And Coast Guard is going and going, and there is no slowing. Vassar has so much they need to fix offensively.
Kick up and good there for Hazel Mitrick. Gets her first conversion of the match. 19-5 the score. And Yasmin Mendez, number 13, the junior management major out of Pike County, Georgia, takes it the distance. And you said it, Lance, they had numbers on the outside. She trusted herself, used her power and strength to push her way through and extend the lead. Again, 19 unanswered points and still a player in the bin for Vassar College for the next 4 to 5 minutes.
There's no defenders
Restart all the way deep inside the 22. Another good run from Hannah Warenke, the senior winger, who has really started to get things cranking here in the second half on the outside. Pick and go from Murphy to set things up.
Hands up, White.
Continue to drive forward. For Vassar College, or excuse me, for Coast Guard, you see just how tight they are on these pick and goes. I think for Vassar, they just need to get those pods a little bit tighter. Too much separation and too many penalties coming away from not releasing. But Coast Guard, again, big time leaders in the time of possession, probably more than doubling up Vassar at this point. Done so good in this ball retention, just keeping it away from Vassar College. Again, the last 4 times these two teams have played, all victories for Vassar College. Average score 50-28. But right now, Coast Guard on the defensive end controlling this match, only 5 points. And now the opening start here for Coast Guard. The Bears, some space on the near side. Nice little flick. Back to the previous try scorer, Mendez. Whips this one a little too high, but they're able to retain possession. Doyle into contact and out into touch. But another big-time spark from the Bears as the back line is really getting going in the second half.
And that right there was a championship check moment for Vassar. Coast Guard finding the space, that left foot step, leaving defenders behind, and another step to get away from the usually strong tackler, Jude Robinson. Ball goes out of hand on that offload, but still able to keep possession. And if Coast Guard could have kept ball in play and possession right there, we might be looking at a try on the opposite side of the field around the edge, because Coast Guard have figured out the sauce. Line break in the middle, edge play, and they're going to find their way down the field.
Just got to say, time and time again, the person leading those breaks, Caitlin Boggs, the senior captain, forwards captain for this Coast Guard squad, nominated as Player of the Year here in D2, and boy, has she shown why. Again, each and every one of these big-time phases and big-time runs, it has been Boggs leading the charge. And right now, they've got Vassar College pinned inside their own end. 13 minutes into this second half of action. Pick and go coming here from Nyhouse. 7 tries on the year for her. This forward pack has just been so dominant throughout the year. Again, their last 2 matches against number 4 and number 5, Towson and Coastal Carolina, 57 points and 66 points, averaging over 70 points per match in conference. But now, here in the semifinal, only 5 up on the board. And Lance, they continue to just pick and go. But down by 14, they really need to get things cranked up if they want to get back into this match.
Coast Guard ball.
But it's Coast Guard.
Almost like
they
deja
take it
vu.
away, and they're back on the front foot now through Royal. Pick and go. Find some space here on the near side through Mitrick. Mitrick with the offload, but it does not come to fruition. Advantage being played there after the knock on. The pick and goes for Vassar.
Back up.
Michaela Weldon takes it in, and now another scoop and charge there from Meddy McKinney. Nyhouse with it. And Lance, just no real sense of urgency right now for Vassar College.
And this just seems like a tough way to get points, but you just laid out their point totals from the playoffs and the regular season, and they average 70 points. So you know they can put the ball in the try zone, but eventually they have to find a way to get the ball to the edge, to the outside, to some of their more dangerous runners, create space for themselves, because the minute that they pick and go and get too comfortable, Coast Guard is on top of the ball poaching. There's been a great bit of defense by Coast Guard, but it's time for that variety, that Vassar College variety to show up and give them real opportunities into the try zone.
Yeah, that was Sophia Bailey that was right there. She's just taking it straight into contact. And Jude Robinson, their star fullback, who is also nominated. We barely even called her name, but now she gets into the action. There she is, but a big, strong tackle on the outside for Coast Guard. They're able to get it loose and keep things moving. Into contact they go. A pointer Mace, I believe. Robinson wearing the number 17 jersey. And another penalty
and when
given.
they finally
Lance
get
not
to the
releasing
edge,
yet again.
and when they finally get to the edge, somehow they lose the ball again. Coast Guard able to get the steal. Those Vassar Ruckers have to clear that Coast Guard player completely off. Can't just allow yourself to lean against the defender, the jackler, and expect that call. You got to remove that body. And unfortunately, Coast Guard is back on attack against this Vassar side.
And they find a gap through Kraus Rivera. Over the midfield stripe she goes. Beats the final tackler. Getting chased down here. She's got players on the right-hand side. Just takes it to deck. Support is there.
That's fine. It hasn't left.
Oh, so close there. Woolham almost knocked that one forward, but referee was in perfect position to see it. Mitrick breaks through the gain line, sheds 2. Final tackler, can't get her down before she brings it home. Try number 4 for the Coast Guard.
And Coast Guard are on a surge. Mitrick's finding space after the long break by Coast Guard, break after break, able to make a recovery tackle, says Vassar, but the space is there, shrugging off defenders. And Jude Robinson, who's been known through the years as being one of the strongest defensive fullbacks in the nation. There's a reason she's one of the finalists for Player of the Year in Division II, and unable to make the tackle. And what an amazing run, left, right, left, off the right foot. You see the relief when she's inside the try zone. Support is there. Amazing bit of play from Coast Guard.
Great work there from, again, Hazel Mitrick. Was able to get that one the distance. There's the kick just off the mark there from Kraus Rivera. We do have an injured player there for Vassar College. Still a couple minutes on that yellow card. But Lance, it does seem like finally, again, 4 straight losses against Vassar College. But boy, Coast Guard is finally getting things going, and they are really surging ahead here in the final minutes.
And doing it multiple ways. They've played the confrontational straight-up game. found a way to find themselves solidified against Vassar, played expansively and is getting them points. That run right there shows the entirety of this match. That is a microcosm of what Coast Guard has been doing all day. You bring your best, we have a little bit more. You run at us tough, we'll run tougher and get points. Coast Guard sitting pretty comfortable with time ticking away. And we have a pause for medical. It depends on who's down. That could spell, maybe the end for Vassar's chance for the back-to-back.
It does appear Sophia Bailey there, the captain, just checking in to see. Checking in to see who is down. It looks like it's Jude Robinson, though. So those are their two star players, Lance, and we've mentioned it throughout this match. They have been unable to get those two in space, the space they need to really break through. But it seems like we're just going to step aside here as we look to get Robinson off the pitch and back and healthy. We'll step aside and we'll come back with the final minutes here of the second half in this D2 semifinal.
Listen to this craft. Sensational. Get into it. There's a magic show in Vegas. Viva Rugby League. Bang them.
Consistency on three. 1, 2, 3.
Hello and welcome back to the College Rugby Show. The fall season is upon us. We have a brand new division, now 4 men's divisions, 4 women's divisions. We've had that in 7s. We're going to be coming to you once every other week here in this video podcast form.
I'm excited for a season of telling college rugby's best stories.
We deserve to be here. We're going to keep, representing.
That was, to me, the biggest testament for the future of the game.
In a sport of power and precision, you need a powerful and precise camera. Analyze your game. Build your team. Grow together.
Ready? Up.
VO captures moments. A powerful camera for a powerful sport.
Rugby!
and welcome back to the College Rugby Show. The fall season is upon us. We have a brand new division, now 4 men's divisions, 4 women's divisions. We've had that in 7s. We're going to be coming to you once every other week here in this video podcast form.
I'm excited for a season of telling college rugby's best stories.
We deserve to be here. We're going to keep, representing.
That was, to me, the biggest testament for the future of the game.
In a sport of power and precision, you need a powerful and precise camera. Analyze your game. Build your team. Grow together.
Ready, up.
Video captures moments. A powerful camera for a powerful sport.
Rugby!
Welcome back to Houston, Texas. Coast Guard, Vassar College in this D2 semifinal matchup. All Coast Guard here in the second half. Tim Wilkes up in the booth here with Lance Kavanaugh from Great American Rugby. And Lance, a good first half. The second half has been all Coast Guard. And we had that injury. We're just about ready to get back and going again.
And the issue really is just the momentum that Coast Guard's been able to acquire. Finding a way defensively to get the ball back, taking advantage of the mistakes from this Vassar side. They've been able to go to the edge, play down the middle. The players that Coast Guard need to step up have stepped up in a big way. Specifically, Caitlin Boggs had found a way to create momentum from the front. Jasmine Mendez has found a way to finish off some of these great bits of play. And as they go around the edge, that ball hits the ground. It should be a dead issue, should be stopped. But Mendez says no, finds the space, gets the offload away. And that was one of the earlier tries after a Vassar yellow card. That yellow card from Vassar in the first half was critical. But the yellow card here, given from the high tackle by the other wing, two wingers for Vassar getting yellow cards, and that resulted in a penalty try. The referee has been completely sound throughout this entire match, vocally, position-wise. He's been able to see every call he's made, and that call right there, which added 7 points to that Coast Guard lead, is really some of the bigger momentum moments from this match. But again, Coast Guard wasn't done. Able to get the ball away, and again, Mendez stepping off that left, scoring. And look at the excitement. Let's go, she says, putting the team forward. And when you need it most, Hazel will not be slowed down. She will not be stopped. She will not be slowed down by anyone, and gets that 5 for her team. Coast Guard are coasting into the national championship game. It's quite a moment for them after so many losses to the same Vassar side.
Again, they're looking for their first win over Vassar College in the last 5 years. Again, was still down as Jude Robinson went to the deck waiting for an ambulance to arrive. So we will step aside just a couple more minutes, and we will have the second half of this action underway as Jude Robinson gave the thumbs up. She's feeling good. We're just about ready to get back on. We'll step aside for a couple more before we have the conclusion.
Consistency on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Hello and welcome back to the College Rugby Show. The fall season is upon us. We have a brand new division, now 4 men's divisions, 4 women's divisions. We've had that in 7s. We're going to be coming to you once every other week here in this video podcast form.
I'm excited for a season of telling college rugby's best stories.
We deserve to be here. We're going to keep, representing.
That was, to me, the biggest testament for the future of the game.
In a sport of power and precision, you need a powerful and precise camera. Analyze your game. Build your team. Grow together.
Ready? Up.
VO captures moments. A powerful camera for a powerful sport.
Rugby!
And welcome back, everybody. It looks like our game is back underway, and Coast Guard seems to be warming up alongside Vassar. We're sitting pretty here, 5:24. Coast Guard looking extremely dominant right now. And Zach, it was really tough to see that last bit, right?
Yeah, you don't like to see that. I mean, especially in a game where for Vassar things aren't going the way you expected, and then to have a serious injury for a teammate like that. But she did give a thumbs up on the way out. Is doing well. Hope for a speedy recovery there. But yeah, I think Darren, you really have to credit Coast Guard so far in this game. The first upset of the day here, they really brought it. I think we didn't have high expectations. Only Pat picked this game for Coast Guard earlier, and he's not even here to revel in it. But
if anybody knows where Pat is, send him our way. We're still on the lookout.
Yeah, not even here to revel in the glory, but he was absolutely right. And I think that this was their year. They've played a really great game there. I don't know if you've seen anything they've done specifically, but
and we talked about it a little bit in the halftime. There didn't seem to be much of an adjustment for Vassar, right? The pick and goes constantly, the consistent trying to do it around the fringes, and Coast Guard, they've adapted well. Their continuity that they've been able to build in signs of adversity, the way that they've really just rose to the occasion, they've made a lot of tackles and a lot of not releasing penalties. The adjustments just not coming in from Vassar, and they keep getting humbled, and it's just unfortunate. I mean, Tony Brown, 30 years coaching, he's got a lot of winning seasons, but I mean, how do you teach a side how to adapt without a coach's supervision? I think is really what Vassar hasn't done the best.
Yeah, something we've talked about on the show when we talk about a team like Southern Nazarene as well in D1. We'll see that game coming up later, their final. They've been able to kind of get that score together, get their stuff together during the season, but they don't play really any tough opponents throughout the year. And if you don't go through that adversity, you can't necessarily, like you said, come up with answers to questions that are asked of you. So if you're not having those questions asked, Coast Guard, you see Boggs, Kate Boggs has not, she's been fantastic, but
Kate
not
Boggs,
a huge
wow.
part.
I mean, you have to give a shout out. If Kate Boggs, if any of your family is watching right now, your girl's having a game. I mean, and we talked about her as one of the player finalists for good reason. I mean, you've got to give a shout out also to our prop, Marina.
Yeah.
To me, she's been absolutely incredible, trying her best to take it to the line. She's so confident. And Coast Guard just seemed to be more confident in their handling. You had mentioned how Vassar's handling didn't look the best, and it's showing here. Coast Guard is definitely outworking them when it's come to ball movement and the width of the field.
Yeah, and they've had to have the backup options, and you see that backline connection between Mendez and Soka really on fire today. They're right there for each other in support. They have those offloads. They're just kind of throwing it up. Be like, I know she's there. My teammates got me. I'm going to put this up. They're there. They'll grab it somewhere out there, and it's worked for them. And I think something we've hit on in the halftime, but Vassar, the penalty try here the second half as well, like 2 yellow cards. Yes, it's just ill discipline, and when the wheels start falling off, you have to maintain that composure.
Right. And the hope just seems to kind of be getting squeezed out of Vassar a little bit. Coast Guard, I think that they just haven't let up on the pressure. And Vassar hasn't really made a move that has forced Coast Guard to adjust with that lack and change of game plan. I mean, it just seems like they're getting more confident in their ability to defend, to put people in the dirt, and to get the turnovers. And once a team gets confident, it is so hard to break through that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, game not over yet. I think Vassar still maybe has a chance here, but we got some rugby to play.
24 minutes on the clock left.
So we won't write them off just yet. What would they need to do, Jared, I think, to get back in this one? I mean, it makes some adjustments maybe, I'd imagine.
Sure.
But, yeah, what do you think?
I think that you've got to start working it wide. Backs have definitely needed to get deep. We saw there the outside center and the fullback. Right at the beginning, we said that they needed to get their hands off the hips and act like they wanted the ball. And right now, if you're a winger, if you're anybody who's on the outside with Coast Guard, you just have to look up and know that they're not getting it. The body language has to change, the ability to change the picture. Sophia Bailey, we haven't seen her have the ball at all besides that, so Coast Guard is marking her. So you've got to find different options, different pictures, and also find a way to do it without one of their key players, which was the one who got injured, Robinson. So, I mean, it's really, really tough, but it looks like they're warming up and trying to, navigate through this part. It's also hard to see one of your teammates get rolled off.
Yeah, I don't know if this happened to you. Like, how do you, come back? You see an injury like that. Now you have to play the rest of this game. Like, do you compartmentalize a little bit? Is something you kind of, because you enjoy playing the game and injuries happen. So how do you come back to get back on the pitch? Is it hard?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What's not hard, though, is the fact that we've got a lot of other games that are coming up. We can maybe chat a little bit about them, too. I mean, Coast Guard is getting out there. And 5 to 24, I've got to say, if we're talking about picks, I'm probably going to change mine.
Okay.
I called Vassar earlier, but hear me out. It's not looking good for me in my pick, and we're not going to say that Pat's right, because thank God he's not here.
I didn't make up the rules, but I don't know if you could change your pick 75% of the way through the game.
60% of the time it works every time. And you know who said that. Everybody does.
Yes, yeah,
Right?
great reference.
Yeah, he knew it before we all did.
So you see, let's say Coast Guard is going to win this one, right? So there, we have the other D2 finalists in the books here now. I guess as ready as well. Or no, we don't. We have that game come to play later on.
Binghamton plays Eau Claire.
So who do you, if you're Binghamton or you're Eau Claire, who do you want? You have or your Coast Guard. Who do you want to see coming out of that Binghamton Eau Claire game?
Not Eau Claire.
Yeah.
Because Eau Claire looks really good.
Yeah.
I would be a little bit nervous. And Eau Claire, we have finishing. They were one of those that we kind of assumed for good reason that they were going to get pushed through to the final. But yeah, if you're Coast Guard, I mean, going against this team, which Vassar has put on a lot of physicality, right? The pick and goes, the amount of tackles that the Coast Guard have had to make, they're going to hurt tomorrow. And that's the expectation, is that you're going to have to face such a stellar opponent in Eau Claire, and that's part of rugby. It's like, oh, you won and went through a brutal battle the day before. Here, we'll repay you with some more rugby and some more brutal hits and really, really like just make you feel absolutely terrible on Monday. And you've got to hope that you win a championship, so like there's something for it.
Pretty crazy for Coast Guard, their path now. They went through 2 Players of the Year nominees, and now they're going to potentially face one other Player of the Year nominees, Elizabeth Crawford in Binghamton, or Olivia George with Eau Claire. It's a pretty crazy Coast Guard path for them when they win this game.
And enough about us. I know that you guys are totally spent. So back up top to the people up in the booth, Tim Wilkes and Lance Kavanaugh. Up to you guys.
Thank you, Darian. We appreciate you guys covering us through the injury time here. About 20 minutes gone by, and Tim Wilkes again with Lance Kavanaugh and Lance. These two, it's going to be a little difficult here to get the engines back cranking again. Just had the score from Coast Guard, but Vassar with the opportunity maybe play some defense and turn that into offense to get back into this one.
And there's a psychology part about this as well. Vassar seeing one of their star players go down while having a deficit. Does that send them to the dumps, or does that give them an extra bit of energy to fight for? Something even bigger than what this game represents, a chance to play in a national championship. Coast Guard, so much momentum, including scoring a try at that moment before the injury. Can they keep that momentum at a high? Or does this break and this time off allow Vassar to readjust, restructure, add some adjustments, and Coast Guard can adjust themselves? The next 5 minutes of the start of this, after this intermission, is going to give us a really big indication on what was some of the things spoken about during this break.
Ron, you good? Tom, you good?
Looks like number 22 there.
Yep.
Ava Rowland has come into the match in there for Jude Robinson. Again, Robinson was wearing number 17, just tried to make that final tackle, took a bit of a knock in that attempt of a try-saving tackle.
One time.
The referee, Greg, just trying to make sure that Vassar is back at full strength. I believe that one occurred at about 44, 45 minutes.
Supposed to be down?
I agree with him. But Lance, as we enter into this final 22 minutes, if you're Vassar College, run through Sophia Bailey. She's one of the best players in the country. I think you just got to let her play a little bit more in open space and see if she can unlock some things.
But how can you do that as a scrum half? These are the adjustments that we have to see if Vassar make, right? Mm-hmm. We've seen her in the last 2 times she played the Coast Guard, 7 tries between those 2 games. She has 1 early in this match, but Coast Guard have figured out a way to contain the mighty dynamo that is Bailey.
Sorry.
And now
they're swapping the ambulances, they're leaving them.
And now with this intermission, we really get to see who made the adjustments, tinkered the strategy and approach, because it still is a national semifinal match with all the stakes on the line.
Yeah, correct.
No, if we remember back to last year, Sophia Bailey, why she's so potent in those open spaces, she does that a lot with those quick taps. We saw her get the first 5 points of the match, but Coast Guard has played really sound rugby, have not committed all those penalties where they're getting sent back and giving Bailey that space. So gotta give Coast Guard squad a shout out for that, for really limiting the mistakes And that is what has allowed them to put 24 unanswered points up on the board. As again, they look to punch their ticket and earn their first national championship. We heard Darian talking about it. Wisconsin, Eau Claire, Binghamton will be playing later to see who will be the adversary for one of these two squads.
I'll let you. Yeah. It'll be the whole thing as a kickoff
Jude
for the half
Robinson
when we start up
just
again, okay?
about headed to the hospital. Again, want to give a big shout out to everybody on the Vassar sideline and to Jude Robinson, all the family. Again, probably a good thing for this ambulance, taking its time, making sure that she is secured and safe. And we are just about ready to get this second half back underway. You see the fans in the stands here at SaberCat Stadium, 4,000 capacity stadium here just south of the Houston area. Premium grass pitch, and one of the best places to come watch or play rugby in the American circuit. See the Coast Guard squad getting ready to go here for the second half. Not as many substitutions for them so far required, and it does look like we are just about ready for action. Again,
you
coming up next, we have Siena versus Colorado School of Mines in that D3 semifinal. We'll see who will get to play Endicott, who took down East Strasburg 33-15 in our first match of the weekend.
Yesterday, and then we had to wait up at car rental for forever and a half.
Referee having a good time. And you can see the Coast Guard team are a lot looser. We got a little bit of motion from Vassar directly in front of your camera live on your stream, but the Coast Guard sideline has a lot of smiles and good energy. Players on the field as well. It seems as though Coast Guard really understands where they're at. They understand their lead, but you can't let off the gas pedal.
As we continue to wait here for the field to be cleared, just about ready. We're going to step aside one final time, just moments away, as we will have the conclusion of the second half right after this. Welcome back to Houston, Texas. As this kick here for Vassar College off the restart does not go the required 10 meters. Welcome you back here to Houston. Tim Wilkes alongside Lance Kavanaugh from Great American Rugby. Check him out on any social media platform that you prefer. And Lance, a quick mistake here for Vassar College that kind of has been the talking point here in the second half.
Yeah, the mistake and penalty count have been the story of the matchup for this Vassar side. A championship team with no doubts about their legacy and the powerhouse that they are, but on the day and time cannot play a clean game of rugby and giving Coast Guard all the opportunity to have this lead.
Bind. Set.
Carly Woolham, the sophomore, puts this one in. Big time surge from Vassar College, creates the turnover, and now Sophia Bailey gets this one back just outside midfield, off that midfield stripe. As Bailey will orchestrate things here. She's got 22 minutes to get her squad in a better position to punch their ticket for the D2 final national championship tomorrow. Back in the formation, pick and goes. There's Sophia Bailey, takes the charge. Gets forward, another big tackle here from Madison Murphy. Stifles them and holds them there at the gain line. Now they'll spin it. A little bit different here. Out to the left. Skip pass finds its target there on the outside. I believe that's August Pointer Mace. Takes it in, playing that fullback position here. Now it's Dermashkin, who had the yellow card early, out there from that wing on that penalty try. Helps her team push it in. Back onto her feet. I believe that was Bailey. About 10 to 15 meters out now for Vassar College. They need a quick try. Again, 24 unanswered points for the Coast Guard Academy right now. That try was scored just a couple minutes into this match here for Vassar College. Probably the first time we've really seen them knocking on the door inside the 22 yet again. Here comes Town. Knocked on there by the Coast Guard. Vassar. Secure possession with the ruck. You see the Coast Guard trying to get their hands on each and every ball.
Going back here.
And we're going to play a knock-on that was previously, I believe, on the Coast Guard. No advantage gain. So it'll be Vassar College with the put into the scrum about 15 meters out.
And Vassar with a spark of energy. Have you seen the surge from Vassar in these 30 seconds? Right? The first hit up off the pick and go was more confrontational than the entirety of the first half from this Vassar side. I'm getting a little hype. I mean, points right here can mean so much.
Yeah, you got to expect that Tony Brown, with his 30 years of experience coaching this squad, had some choice words at halftime. This is a championship-type squad. They need to perform at that level, imploring them to do so here in the second half. Through the hands they go. Sabrina Wheel, 10 meters out now. Trying to find some space there on the far side of the pitch. Another pick and go. Coast Guard, those white jerseys right on top of it. They try to pull them through and get their hands on it. Need those two extra forwards to secure possession, but they do not this time. Yet again, it's stolen away inside the 5-meter line for the Coast Guard. Now, how do they find an exit strategy? Kraus Rivera gets wrangled again behind that 5-meter line. Woolham steps in, finds the target and hits it. Over there to Soka. Had that penalty try earlier, just fighting for the meters now. 3 meters she's able to make out of that one. Something out of nothing. Finding some space. They'll go back to the right-hand side, but you see those maroon jerseys charge forward, cause havoc with it, and cough that ball up. They're able to get possession 5 meters out now. There's space on the outside. Great tackle. Waranke with a huge tackle on the outside. And now hands in the ruck is the call. Back 10 go Vassar College. What a tremendous stand. Boggs into contact, offloads with a player dangling off her. Over there to Soka. At the 22, but it's ripped away. Stolen out of there by Perkinson. Perkinson with 10 tries on the year. Vassar College looking to make this one interesting. Down by 19, and they have got to come away with points. There's numbers on the outside. A little long with it as Wheel finds the target, and there goes Pointer Mace all the way through. She dots it down and brings Vassar right back into this match.
And the energy is on Vassar's side right at this moment. The momentum before the intermission said Coast Guard, but Vassar picking up the pace in the opening stanza after that stoppage, and they seem to get points that they desperately needed. The first points outside of the first 2 minutes of this match, running that layered attack, finding a massive gap, and to step there and move there to get into the try zone. And the conversion goes in, so 7 points cuts into that 19-point deficit. Vassar down 12 with a chance to fight for a national championship. Repeat.
It's the senior August Pointer Mace who takes that one in. Surprise seeing her back at that fullback position, not Jude Robinson. She's off the pitch. They've had multiple yellow cards. They've had one of their best players have to exit the pitch on an ambulance, but take all that and throw it in the trash. They have set their minds here to punch in their ticket to the D2 National Championship, and right now, Vassar College down by 12 with 17 minutes left to play. Nice deep kick there for the Bears. Tackles made. Good job there by Sabine Wheel. Or excuse me, Mitrick that was able to get down there and make that tackle. Now back into the formation. Multiple maroon jerseys around the ball. Just got to make sure that her support stays close. Maybe try to stay connected. Do what you have to do to not leave any gaps there. This Coast Guard will absorb a couple, and then they'll pull you down and try to go for that poach. Right now, Vassar. Nice and easy they go. Faith Morlatch with a great low tackle there. Number 18, the sophomore, getting involved. Not rolling away. Coast Guard gets sent back 10, and here comes Sophia Bailey. Those quick taps are so fast, and an easy way for her to get some meters back for the Brewers. There's the charging run. Weldon eventually gets slammed down as well. Get things back in gear. They're through town. Now they'll look to spin it again. A little bit more of this in the second half. This is what we were calling for, and now they deliver. Maniitis breaks the gain line, pushes the Brewers forward again. Pick and go continues the charge. Set up that back line again. We've been seeing it now, 4 or 5 phases to consolidate that defense, and then they'll spring things out on the outside. Looking for more. Nice skip pass again, finds that target, the previous try scorer. Pointer Mace, this time she's wrangled down behind the 22-meter line. Scooped up by Perkinson. They'll get back into it, and back on the ball are the Coast Guard Bears. Maribella Ruan again with the steal, takes it away, and the Bears back in possession. 15 minutes left to go. Just looking to hold on. Haven't seen any kicks in this match so far, really, Lance. For Coast Guard, they just have to retain possession, but you know Vassar is going to be scraping for each and every one.
Yeah, and they've done a good job keeping the ball, but can they keep ball clean in hand and keep the ball in bounds is the question, because Vassar's defense seems to be a little bit more energetic than we've seen in the first part of the second half.
Jazz Mendez able to hop on top of that one and keep possession here. Almost looked like that one was coughed up, but backwards, said the referee. Royal fighting for every inch out there. Good job for Victoria Royal, the junior. Now they'll look to spin it. Hard charging defense comes up and hits them a good 15 meters behind the gain line, and they'll just have to eat this one through Kraus Rivera. Now looking for space on the outside. Vassar College right there and ready for it. Avery Soka cannot get through. And Coast Guard have been able to retain possession through Rowenke. Still inside their 22 though. But Lance, this is what they have to do. Just let that time tick. Keep possession here up to 2 minutes here in these last phases. There's a little discombobulation in the back line. Great work from the defense, charging up and hitting them behind. But they did knock it on. That was Gabriella Maniitis that was able to come through and jar that one loose. But no advantage has been gained. And a hard whistle there, Lance. A penalty possibly coming here for Vassar.
Is he going to go high tackle here?
Tackle. Not a high degree of danger. There is head contact. It's just a yellow card.
Ooh!
High tackle!
That seems to be one of those calls that might just extinguish the fire that Vassar started out this break from. I don't know if, we have the ability to look at replays. I don't know about head-to-head contact. It was a fierce contact, though. And that yellow card, third of the day for Vassar. That's dangerous for a win.
Yeah, that's really the key there. 30 minutes of action that they'll have to play with a player disadvantage. And now the final 14 minutes as we enter in just a 2-possession game. But the Coast Guard have been so good at keeping possession. A little bit stranded. Here goes Garrett. Great job rumbling forward, taking defenders with her, and finally it's scooped back up by Woolen, looking for space on the outside. In comes Kraus Rivera, breaks through, finds the offload.
I'm trying to get out of your way. No, you're
Eventually brought to deck, just what Coast Guard needs as they continue the time of possession and progressing their way down the pitch. Getting this one as far away from points for Vassar as they possibly can. Woolham corralled in the back and coughed it up, lost it forward. Back to Vassar College, 50 meters to go away from the try line. Down by 12. About 12 minutes left to play. So bring this one back. Weldon.
Tackle!
Charges forward. You see all those maroon jerseys around the ball trying to secure possession. When they push forward, they've just gotten a little bit stranded. See just how low Coast Guard really starting to drop down. Securing those tacklers a little bit better. That was Boggs last time. Another strong tackle there for Coast Guard. The Bears living up to their name. Fighting hard here in these small areas. Another push forward. Bardsley Cutler takes it in.
Hands away.
The Bears will do this all day long. About 10 minutes left.
14.
Now a penalty. Back 10 they go. This is where Bailey's dangerous. Takes the quick tap. Steps through one. Into contact for the second right at the 22-meter line. A little bit stranded there as she falls forward. The Brewers back in possession. Maddie Sumrow. She's got 12 tries on the season.
Tackle!
Now they'll slow things up a little bit more on the outside. Boggs again involved with the tackles.
One step.
Leading from the charge, or from the front, is their captain. There's another breakthrough.
Hands on ball.
About 8 meters out now as Vassar continues the charge.
Back up, White.
And repelled. Great tackle there from Ruan, who has been tremendous there. Number 3, Marabella Ruan, the senior out of Needville, Texas. Now the little switch there. Find their target, Perkinson. Back into the massive jerseys, though. And she was stranded, taken away by the Coast Guard. Well over 10 of those in this match, Lance.
Yeah, the defense from Coast Guard have figured out that if you get a ball carrier down with a little bit of space, hands on ball is devastating for Vassar. They've created at least 10 penalties throughout this match, all with Vassar having really good go for it on some of them situations.
Just that little mistake. That's the area that the Coast Guard has seen over the last 4 years, hasn't been able to exploit, but finally they are getting their tactics right. 24-12 their score. Again, the average score the last 4 times these two teams have met, 50-28, but now Vassar being held to 12 points. A tremendous challenge here for the Bears from Coast Guard.
Yep, we're all fine. Thank you, 9.
From New London, Connecticut. Continue to retain possession with the player advantage, but Vassar does not care. They will continue to throw bodies out there, charging hard up against the fringes of this defense. Another strong tackle, but you see the white jerseys just right there in support time and time again. Huge collisions as those counter rucks try to come in and take it. You see Coast Guard really using that position to bring the ball back, almost kind of sitting on top of it. Have not been called for it yet today, and here's a breakaway again for the Bears. They'll fling this one out to the near side, but just couldn't get that pass to go to fruition. Avery Soka loses this one out. Turnover back to Vassar College.
Deep breath moment for Coast Guard. Less than 10 minutes left in this match. You have a yellow card advantage. Beautiful moment if they could have found a way to keep ball in hand. That break is just physical. It's just physicality, wanting it more. The one-handed pass, unfortunately, just a little too far away.
White, here's your width.
Unable to make the most of that line break. But Coast Guard still finding ways to get through this Vassar defense, still finding ways to attack on these edges. And Vassar, with less than 8 minutes to go, had to find 12 points with the player down. This is a championship moment right here.
Megan Zolvinsky steps in, number 16 there. Believe takes over for Ruan. Had that last charging run, scooped up in the back by Fontana. Fontana takes it in. 12 points away, and they lose it forward. It's scooped up, though, by Vassar. They don't need the advantage.
Tackle!
Able to get possession back. Bailey whips it out to the left-hand side, trying to sling this one through Wheel. More space there on the outside through Pointer Mace, but another strong tackle from the Coast Guard. We've seen them do it multiple times here in the second half, but each and every time, Lance, Coast Guard has really done well on the outside defense.
They found a way to shut the door on the edge. You know, the advantage seemed like it was too Vassar for what's happening on the edge, but Coast Guard have found a way to eliminate it.
Finding something here with Pointer Mace coming back from that fullback position. Usually, again, Jude Robinson playing that fullback position. She was taken off on a stretcher in the ambulance just about 30 minutes ago. Gave the thumbs up. She's good, but just trying to will her team to a victory here. Off to the right-hand side they come. Ava Rowland, around one, steps through over the line and in. Vassar College back in this match as they cut the deficit down again.
Down on the right side.
And Ava Rollins on the edge, the inside-outside step. Catch 22. You get the ball to the edge and let your playmakers play. Yo, skip. Ankles destroyed and 5 points on the board. Vassar closing the deficit slowly but surely with a shorthanded advantage. With a shorthanded situation, able to make the play to get points. And just a great bit of play from Vassar, able to stay in this match. Contest everything.
Conversion, no good though, so one more try, 7 points. A converted try away from tying this one up. Kicks have not come too easy for either of these squads, just a couple of made throughout the match. But right now, Lance, if you're the Coast Guard, you kick this one away, you're gonna have about 5 minutes of defense to be able to cover a good 60 meters here. Do they have enough left in the tank?
And if you are Coast Guard, you play your brand of rugby. There's no need to switch up. There's no need to change. They've been able to hold possession of the ball for at least 80% of the time in the first half. No need to change it up. Kick this kickoff deep. Play strong defense. Your defense will get you the ball back. Vassar, in a desperate moment, have to find a way to get a converted try with limited time.
Kraus Rivera gets the luck of the bounce of the rugby ball as this one trickles all the way through, eventually scooped up by Vassar. But that one only went about 10-15 meters in the air, and it's ripped away. The Bears are back in possession. Madison Murphy has been tremendous on the defensive end. A couple of sticks and a big-time steal there for the Coast Guard. Now they'll keep it tight. Into contact they go. Less than 5 minutes away from beating Vassar College for the first time in 6 years. 4 losses in a row. But they are ready to rock and roll here in this D2 semifinal. Just 4 minutes away from punching their ticket to the national championship. Great work on the defensive end. Still here for Vassar College. Behind the gain line every time. Coast Guard tries to come out, but now the dirtiest jersey, Caitlin Boggs, through the defense, out to the left to Soka, and try number 2. Avery Soka dots it down and slams that door shut for the Coast Guard Bears.
I think we might have just seen the emergence of an absolute animal here in the United States rugby landscape. Caitlin Boggs, whenever there's a moment for their side that needs just someone to step forward and do the work, the dirtiest jersey on the field, the slickest ankles on the grass, and she makes a move, bringing in the defense and making the easy pass to convert a 2-on-1. This step right here against the try score, able to find the space, and just like that, Coast Guard answered back, which looks like one of the more momentum-changing moments in the entirety of their season. Caitlin says, no, ma'am, we're going to do what we need to get this championship, and does what's necessary. Great bit of play from this Coast Guard side.
Boggs, the senior All-American out of St. Augustine, Florida, has given her team the extra points that they need to be able to punch their ticket to play tomorrow. A great match here, 29-17 the score. And for Caitlin Boggs, a tremendous match. And my favorite thing, Lance, when she gets that ball in open space, she's had about 3 assists here with that final pass, sucks in the defender and opens it up, helps her team put more on the board.
And if it's not finishing tries, she's initiating line breaks. She's strong in defense. She, as playing 8, has set her team up on that outside edge and that outside 15 channel all day. What a great bit of play from her as Vassar somehow gets the ball back and threatens again. What a match.
2 minutes left, so they've got to strike quickly here. Has not been their greatest strength, and it's again ripped away. Yet again from the Coast Guard. You have got to give it up for Sarah Price, just 3 years at the Coast Guard Academy as their head coach. And boy, have they been a powerhouse, and they have finally cracked the code here against Vassar College, stealing the ball away well over a dozen times. Tremendous effort here from the Bears as they milk away this semifinal victory. Keeping it in tight and close. Another good charging run through Zolvinsky, freshman, getting her name called. Royale continues to charge forward. She's had a tremendous match there from her prop position, as has this lady, Madison Murphy, getting involved on the offensive end this time. You see how close those pods are for the forwards. Always somebody there ready to ruck and keep possession, and that has really been the name of the game. Coast Guard have kept it more. They've had more time of possession and have turned that into 29 points. Again, they had 24 unanswered until Vassar scored the last couple to make it a match. But this is how they want to do it. Coast Guard Bears looking to milk this one away. Another pass out from Woolham, who's been tremendous. Carly Woolham, just the sophomore, her first year as scrum half, has stepped in and played beautifully for the Bears today. 30 seconds now. Can't say enough about this Vassar College team. They've got the stars. They had 2 players, Robinson and also Bailey, on our players to watch for Players of the Year here in D2. We talked about them all day, but it has been the star, Caitlin Boggs, the number 8 for Coast Guard Academy, who has really shined and maybe given herself a little bit of an edge there in the Player of the Year categories. In referee time now. Final play here. And Lance, even if Vassar College able to get this one in, it doesn't look like it's going to be enough.
And there's just so much that can be said about the fight and resilience of this Vassar side. Able to continue to just push forward, make this a match. 19 points with less than 20 minutes to go can seem like it's almost over. They added 2 tries, really made a contestable match at the end, shown their championship grit. But the story of the day is the way that Coast Guard play, found a way, just working together defensively, getting the ball back, making their tackles, making their line breaks mean something. And it's just a great bit of play from Coast Guard.
Rosalie Perkinson, Rosie they call her, brings it about 4 meters out, and they'll continue to surge. Emma Newhouse, she's got 9 tries on the year, one of the more potent forward players. But you see the Coast Guard getting low, absorbing the contact. Bailey will flip this one out now through the hands of Wheel. Out to the outside, there's the try scorer, Pointer Mace, gets the offload, and they dot down one more try. But at this point, Lance, just a little too late.
Just too much, too far. Coast Guard able to bring the noise the entire match, making that last try null and void. So much can be said about this game. I mean, the storylines are there. The early try from Vassar that really could have took all the momentum and took everything out of this Coast Guard team, making them realize it might be a repeat of the last couple years. But Coast Guard, strong, resilient, leaning on their stars. And when it was time for them to convert their tries and make their moments, they did. Vassar, great season, but Coast Guard on their way to a national championship game.
And there it is, the final whistle sounds, and it is a 29-22 victory for Vassar College as they are in tomorrow's national championship match. We will step aside. We've still got more great matches. We'll step out. Will Hooley and Craig Wilson enter the booth when we return.
That's white. We don't want white. We're on red. You take white back to the table. He's not in the ear yet. Are you on? You can hear me. Perfect.